You get paid to do three things. In our industry, I owned a 550 agent real estate company, 13 offices. So I'm not talking from like some book that I read this in. I was an agent for 8 years, the top agent in my county for 7 of those 8 years. You get paid in this business for three things: prospecting for leads, nurturing those leads, and closing those leads. That's what you get paid to do. Now, in some of your markets, not all of them, in some of your markets, number 3 is fading a little bit because you're under constraints, and buyers and sellers are somewhat under constraints. There is no constraint on number 1 and number 2. So if number 3 is slowing up a little bit, even though it's coming back, it's still slower than it normally would be, then we have to double down on 1 and 2. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, double down on listings. The buyers are already coming back. Every state, they're coming back. Every company we do, where we're doing an individual company, they'll give us the individual numbers. They're shocked when I put it on a graph. They say, I didn't think we were doing that good. Yeah. And that's where half your agents still hiding under the bed. Get that other half agents working, and we're going to be fine. Did I mention moral obligation? If you're worried about the economy, this is what I need you to do. Prospect for every single listing you can get right now. That's what you can do. Don't worry about the pandemic. You're not going to find a vaccine. Don't worry about when the restaurant's going to open up, because you're not opening the restaurant. This is what you can control. The single most important part of the American economy right now is housing. As David said, that's why they're putting billions of dollars into it, trillions of dollars into it. Let's do our part on that. David, go to the 4 things. All right? This is what you need to do right now. Make your message simple and effective. You can hold on, David. Leave it right there. Leave it right there. Make it simple and say, you can go over this right now. I try not to use any word that's more than 2 syllables when we're in a market like this. This is not the time to look impressive. This is the time to be understood. The goal of communication right now is not to look impressive. The goal is to be understood. Keep your message simple and effective. Number 2, remain hypercurrent on all housing information. I mean hypercurrent. Because they're going to come at you. The naysayers are going to come at you, and you have to stay on top of what's happening. No panic. Number 3, mix micro data with your macro data. Let them know what's happening in your marketplace. There are some consumers that don't think houses are selling. Let them know that there are houses pending right now in your marketplace. Let them know there are new listings coming in your market right now. Give them the numbers. Because there are people sitting back saying, well, nobody's selling a house, I'm not going to either. Well, no, let's let them know that, yes, people are putting their house on the market. And guess what? Amazing. Some of them are selling. Number 4, use videos on social media and Zoom with your CRMs. You have to get these messages out. We're giving you these slides. They're perfect. You can have different Zoom meetings on the different subjects that we covered today. You have to do that, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a choice. This is not like everything's going to be okay. We have to make sure we do that. And David, go to this last thing. Try KCM. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really sell KCM hard ever, but it's $25 a month. From now until the end of the year, it's going to be a $200 investment. This is what I know is going to happen from now until the end of the year. We're going to battle through a pandemic. We're going to work after a pandemic. And once we take our breath on that, we're going to have the most contested presidential election in the history of our country. For the next 8 months, you have to stay on top of things that are happening. It's $200 for the rest of the year. You pay us $25 a month. Go there and join us right now. You will not believe the amount of information. Look at the information we're giving you free. Imagine the information and the depth we go into it when you remember. All right? And I'm going to finish with this because I think I have 2 minutes left. All right? Do we get shut down, Peter, at the top of the hour?
No, we're good.
A little bit of time?
We're good.
Right. This is what I think of Coldwell Banker. I'm going to go to beer. Because when Arthur Guinness decided in 1759 to open a brewery, he signed a lease for a 4-acre site in downtown Dublin. What were the terms of that lease? 45 pounds a year for 9,000 years. What did he communicate to every single one of his competitors? We're not going anywhere. What did he communicate to every single person he was trying to recruit from another brewery? You can come work here. We're not going anywhere. What did he say to every single customer? Enjoy it. We'll be around. We're not going anywhere. And what did he do to every vendor? Every new business has a tough time maybe paying those first bills. What did he communicate to every vendor? Don't worry about us. We ain't going anywhere. When my son, a couple of years ago, my youngest son, Stephen, he said he wanted to go visit the historic sites in Europe. He asked me to help fund that trip, which I did. The first picture I got back was from this brewery. That was his first historic site he went to, a beer brewery. But he wanted to let me know that that lease that was signed in 1759 is still under lights on the glass. First thing you see when you walk in. They made a commitment there. And right now, they have probably the best 1-minute video. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. You can Google it under We Will Toast Again, where they talk about, hey, listen, guys, eventually we'll be back. We'll see you in the pubs. We'll make sure the bartenders are okay. We'll support them in every way we can. And at the end of that 1-minute video, guess what they say? And don't worry about us. We're not going anywhere. Give it back to me, David, for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, Coldwell Banker is Guinness. You've been around since 1906. You helped this country through World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and every other war. You helped them through several different recessions. The people in your communities know you're not going anywhere. You're not pulling deals that you made with people. You're not hoping that the VC in this virtual boardroom is going to make the right decision for your neighbors. Your leaders are worried just about your same amount about your neighborhoods and your neighbors and your regions. There's a flight, a distinct flight to quality right now. And just like Guinness, the one thing Coldwell Banker knows they can say, you can trust us. We ain't going anywhere. Understand who you work for. Understand your brand. Understand the power of that brand. And understand that you're the cavalry. Stop waiting for something to happen. Make something happen. And we would love to, at KCM, ride alongside you. We're pretty good as a sidekick. We're real good as a sidekick. Sign up today, and we'll ride alongside you to the next 8 months. Thank you, Todd.
Oh, wow.
Todd,
all right. I'm ready to go to war, baby. I'm ready to go to war.
Todd, we should just end it with that.
Like just incredible, Steve. And yeah, there's, it's funny because we take notes as we go along because we want to recap at the end. I got too many notes, man. We'd be here for another half an hour with all of the incredible value. Here's what I would ask everybody on this call to do. All right, let's make Dave and Steve's day. I want you to go to Instagram, Keeping Current Matters. I want you to go to Facebook, Keeping Current Matters. I want you to post on their social media sites what you thought about this presentation. If you thought it was amazing, tell them. If you thought that somebody else needed to hear it, not only tell them, but share it. Like, what these guys are providing us is exactly what we need to hear, exactly what we need to know so that we can go out and have an impact on the economy. We are the cavalry. I love that. That's incredible. And I will tell you, if you haven't done so already, you need to subscribe to all these. Not only do you get a video, but you get all of the slides one by one. We, of course, are going to deliver these slides to you guys, but it's an incredible tool for each and every one of you, true professionals, to be dictating what the narrative is going to be. Steve, David, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
David, am I fired because I ran over you a little bit there? Are you going to fire me later this afternoon? That's all I want to know.
No, it's great. That's great. And Todd, we're going to get these to you for everybody to get out. And like you said, share this message, tag us. We'll share it as well. We'll help you get the message out, because now more than ever, being able to bring this information to the market is where the difference is made.
Amen.
Crushed it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Hey, listen, this is all I can say. I want you to do two things. Try KCM, 14 days free. Just try it. You'll see what we're talking about. Try KCM.com. Do that, please. This is the only time I've ever sold it in 8 years. You need it for the next 8 months. You can cancel in January. Just do it for the next eight months. And the second thing I'll say is take to heart what I said about the cavalry. We need to help people right now in a really big way.